Influencing popular culture, politics, and everything in between. The local station takes you ringside as we discuss the crazy world that is professional wrestling. This is Going Ringside with the local station.
If I could catch John Cena,
you would fight him on his way out if you could.
I'll put him out.
You would retire John Cena.
I'll show him he's on the way out, so watch your step, you know? I would. CM Punk would be another good one.
You would want to fight Punk?
I would want to fight Punk.
Difference in styles between you two.
And that's what makes it so interesting.
And that is just the beginning of what Oba Femi has to say. Welcome to the show. I'm Scott Johnson. You're watching Going Ringside, and the man from NXT is here. Oba Femi has a lot to say. So one thing to watch for in just a minute, what he says about Randy Orton. So I asked him about the Viper, thought he'd give me kind of a PR-ish answer. You know, I respect the veteran. Didn't really go that way. Has a lot to say about guys like Gunther as well, and the people inside NXT. I sat down with Oba, thanks to our friends through the CW network, and down at NXT headquarters in Orlando. So we're excited to sit down with him again as we've been bringing you a lot of these interviews with NXT stars. And I want to interrupt real quick. This right here on the screen, youtube.com/@GoingRingside. Give us a follow, subscribe to our channel. We want to continue bringing more stars to you every single week. So I want you to go give us a subscribe click if you could. But let's get to Oba Femi. He has a lot to say on stars he wants to face, maybe put out to pasture. You also want to hear what he has to say about the continent of Africa. So WWE just wrapping up its European tour. I asked him, because he's from Africa, what do you think about WWE going into interior Africa? Shocked what he had to say to me about that. You want to hear it? Maybe would bring the biggest WWE shows in history if they go south of Europe into Africa. Listen to what Oba Femi has to say. So let's get to it. He has a lot to say. Here's the man from NXT himself. Here is Oba Femi. Well, we're excited to be joined again by Oba Femi, world champ right now. Oba, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, talk to me. Since last we talked, a lot has happened in your world. You were pretty dominant. Now you're fully dominant in NXT. What has happened for you in the last several months?
Well, let's just say I went from holding one championship to holding another championship, so nothing much has really changed. I've kept the
but
game
the
plan
victories have. There's been more of them.
Yeah, there's been more people, but like I always prepare for my bouts, and I'm well equipped and well prepared. So when I win, it's not a shocker. It's not a surprise.
You were so just powerful. When I talked to you last time, you were saying you don't get injured as much as a lot do. I mean, the body can take the punishment?
It can, yeah. I'm one of the more durable ones.
So, let's talk about some of your matches you've had lately. Your biggest, maybe, threat was Moose, would you say?
100%.
What was it like dealing with Moose, a guy your size?
So, Moose matched me in many aspects of the game. Equally as intense, equally as big, equally as dominant. And it just came down to the wire and who wanted it more. And I guess I'm younger and I'm more hungry. So I came out on top.
So when that match was going on, I mean, before it happened, you guys are face to face. Are you like, was there a different feeling in your mind about who you're now facing off with versus other people you've seen?
I mean, yes, there was. But for different reasons. One of them would be because it was a dream match. It was a huge what-if match. That's not the type of thing you tune into NXT on Tuesdays and you just see. This was Oba Femi versus the Moose, you know, from TNA, and it was a dream match that the fans asked for and wanted, and I'm glad they got to experience that more than I got to wrestle him.
What is next? You've beaten most everyone NXT has to offer. Do you want to go to Raw or SmackDown?
Everyone wants to go to Raw or SmackDown, let's be real. But my responsibility right now is to represent NXT. I am the NXT champion, and I will do so until I'm no longer the NXT champion. I don't know what's next after I destroy Yoshiki at the Great American Bash, but we'll see. I'm just as curious as you are.
I noticed that the difference between you and Yoshiki, you were so much bigger than he was.
Yeah.
But he's still
a formidable competitor.
Yes. Formidable, yes.
You say yes, like not so much.
There's levels to the game, you know. There's B tier, there's C tier, there's A tier, and there's S tier.
Okay.
And I am very much S tier.
You're S tier?
I'm S tier.
Okay. Where's he at?
B plus.
B. Well, that's at least he gave him a plus. That's something.
That's respectable.
I do want to talk about main roster. We've talked about dream matches before, and I got to talk about the guy who's on top right now. We've talked about before with you as Gunther. Are you still interested in that match down the road?
I am. Has to be for the right reasons.
What do you mean by that?
Not just because the fans said so.
Okay.
I have to want to fight Gunther. He has to want to fight me. There has to be a good reason. There has to be a good cause. Can't just happen because
fans say it's a dream match.
Because fans say it's a dream match.
Gotcha. Who else?
If I could catch John Cena,
You would fight him on his way out if you could.
I'll put him out.
You would retire John Cena.
I'll show him he's on the way out, so watch your step, you know? I would. CM Punk would be another good one.
You would want to fight Punk.
I would want to fight Punk.
Difference in styles between you two.
And that's what makes it so interesting.
Why?
Big man, different style. Big man, different style. Smaller guy, but very experienced, and he's carved out his own moveset, and he's well recognized within the wrestling ecosystem, and so am I. So those are the interesting scenarios. It's limitless what we can do.
Another guy who's about your size, Randy Orton. Would you fight Randy?
I would definitely fight Randy.
Yeah.
Just feel sorry for Randy. You know, his back, and
Yeah.
I'll show him the door too.
You would.
It's about time.
You
Why
would
not?
retire Randy Orton if need be.
I grew up watching those guys.
Yeah.
And I think they've been on top for a very long time, and I think enough is enough. I think it's time for the new crop of superstars to rise up to the top.
So you had mentioned something about the stereotype of big men. You're breaking that stereotype.
Yes.
What do you mean?
The current big man is viewed as a lumbering buffoon who is gifted an opportunity solely because of the way he looks. I am here to tell the fans and condition them to believe that it's more than that the big man can talk, can wrestle, has charisma, can cut a promo, can hold a program. That's more than just, I'm not here because of just the way I look. I'm not here because I'm 6'5", 6'6", and 300 plus pounds and I passed the airport test. No, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I'm an experience.
The airport test?
The airport test. So the airport test basically is when you walk into the terminal, do you turn heads? When you walk into a room, do you turn heads? Do people go, who's that? He looks important. That's the airport test. And I passed the airport test. Everywhere I go, I tower over everybody.
But you don't want to just be that.
No, you don't just want to be that. Because that's like having a Lamborghini just parked and not moving. Like, I'm useful. I'm more than just the sum of my parts.
Last time we talked, since we talked, WWE is recently in Saudi Arabia. They're going all over the world. You had talked about an idea that you would maybe like to see them travel to Africa at some point.
1,000%. Yeah.
1,000%.
I do. I still think the market is very untapped. I don't know if they know how crazy people go for this company over there, but when all they need is one show to make them realize.
Do you think there's cultural concerns going into? They've been to South Africa, but
yes.
going into the inner of the continent.
I'm sure there is, but like it's not anything that you can't find out. Mm-hmm. You can always fix fear of the unknown.
What would the mood be like from the fans? I'm sure they would love to see something like
pure excitement, and nothing more.
And you grew up in that environment, so you know how jacked they are for WWE.
Yes, I do, because I was equally as jacked growing up.
How do they see it? Is it just on TV there? I'm curious.
I mean, it's on TV. They see it as a respectable sport. They also understand that like these guys are like professional stuntmen who put their bodies on the line and like what they do is risk. So there's a certain level of respect that goes into watching wrestling on wrestlers.
Seen some indie shows in Africa. I see them on the internet. Have you seen those before? Yeah.
The mud wrestling guys.
Are you aware of that?
I'm aware of them. Yeah.
What do you think of that concept?
I think it's great. I think it's very different. I mean, every single time I've seen wrestling, in my lifetime, it's been in a squared circle, a ring, or an octagon with ropes, and it's just different to see mud wrestling. And those guys are intense. They go hard.
They do go hard,
They do go hard.
So, as you go forward, we talk about big matches, things you would like to do, other than because wrestling is such a broad thing. You do commercials, you do video games, you do toys, people go into movies, and more commercials, everything. Anything you would like to do other than just the matches?
I mean, when it comes to like external affairs, I would say like public speaking is something I'm like pretty good at.
Yeah.
I've done a few gigs here and there. I've realized along the line that I have a pretty cool story of how I got to where I am today, and just telling people that story is like really inspiring. So I've heard, and I think going forward I would like to capitalize on that.
Well, Oba Femi, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
So glad to catch up with Oba again. Such an amazing character, such an amazing story. And changing, as he said, the definition of a big man from a lumbering buffoon to a guy who can talk and do a lot more than just pass that airport test. Willing to put John Cena, Randy Orton out to pasture? I think that might make some headlines. So glad Oba could sit down with us. We have a lot more NXT stars, by the way, coming up. And of course, our big announcement, September 23rd, if you're in Jacksonville, we're moving to CW17, 7:30 at night on Tuesdays, right before NXT. So if you're watching this in North Florida, South Georgia, check us out on TV2, and we'll be putting all our TV shows on the Going Ringside YouTube channel, so you can watch them all there. So thanks for joining us again. I'm Scott Johnson. So glad you could be with us. We'll see you back here next time.
This has been Going Ringside with The Local Station, brought to you every Wednesday on your favorite podcast player, on News4 Jax Plus, as well as the News4 Jax YouTube channel.